Hello, this is Brian Resney, President of Resney Wealth Management, bringing you an important update about the economy and the investment markets. We're off to a great second half of the year. Again, I want to always really give the old warning. Remember, clients, volatility is normal. We had some volatility the first half of the year. Second half of the year, we could have similar volatility. We can get a 10% pullback before we go up another 5%, or we can go up 5% and then get a 10% pullback, or we could have no pullback. So just remember, don't expect every single month or quarter for your accounts to go up. You could have a 12, 18-month time frame where your accounts are essentially flat, but then have the next leg higher. Remember, 5, 6 steps up, a couple steps down, 5, 6 steps up. That's kind of how investment management ultimately works. So with that said, I do see a rosier picture of the second half of the year, and I talked about that at the beginning of this year. One thing that is vitally important is we've got deregulation. The big beautiful bill's been passed. Tax reductions permanent, not only for corporations, but for individuals. These are all going to bode well for spending. Things are coming back to the U.S. As I've talked many times, we're not going to get everything back to the U.S., but over the next 5 or 10 years, if 10% of manufacturing or product building comes back to the U.S., that will be a huge net positive for GDP growth. I firmly believe the next 3 years after this year, we will have GDP growth could be in the 3 to 3.5% range. If we just hit 3%, statistically, that's 1% or 50% higher than our GDP growth that we've had really for the last 10, 20, 30 years. So again, we don't need to grow GDP at 5 or 6% gross domestic product. We just need to grow it more than 2%, and that will help pay off debt and deficits. That will help really stimulate the economy overall. The poor become richer, the middle class become richer, and of course the rich become richer, which is really our clients. If you have at least a few $1 million overall net worth, you're really in the top 2, 3% of net worth people in the U.S. I've talked about that repeatedly with clients. But as always, we're going to get volatility. We are positioned well, in our opinion, for future growth for this year. As always, if you have questions about your portfolio or any concerns, call the office. And remember, our business grows from quality clients like you. So make sure you think about us when you're referring friends, family members, or business associates. We do have client minimums, and we do take a limited amount of new clients each year for the benefit of you, the existing client. You come first. Referrals and new clients come second. Remember, we want to make sure our clients are well taken care of. Communication is excellent, and your returns are excellent in addition. If you, again, have any concerns, any questions, please give the office a call and make sure you have yourself a safe and profitable day.